Hey there, people. Too Tall here. Hope you all are having a pleasant day wherever you might be. Been about 3 weeks since I've made any content. We were working on this 372, and well, we were working on that right there. I don't remember 100% where we left off on that. I think I was in process of working on the grinding. I usually do about half on camera and then finish the other half off camera for time's sake. Anyway, I give you guys a little peeky poo there. So to recap, I did not touch the roof of the exhaust, nor did I touch the floor of the intake. So running stock numbers there. I will probably throw the degree wheel on it just to see, go aftermarket piston. I got a bit of a story for you all there. Some things have changed. I originally was going to throw a Meteor piston in it. So after the last video, a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he viewed the video and commented and said, hey, is that a 51.4 millimeter cylinder that you have there? And he's like, I've never seen that style of porting on anything but. And I just took it for granted. This was something that I had got in a big pile of parts and took one look at it and go, yeah, that's a 372 cylinder. Well, after he made that comment, he got me curious, and I went and I looked, and I feel kind of silly that I didn't catch it nor check it, before, but he was right. This is a 51.4 millimeter cylinder off of like a K375 cutoff saw. There was another model as well. I can't remember what it was. The K375 is what comes to mind, but there was a second model number that also ran the same 51.4 millimeter cylinder. So let me tell you, trying to find a piston that fits that oddball bore is, well, it's interesting. I was able to find one through these guys, Little Red Barn. Now I have, at least 2 or 3, maybe 3 other chainsaws floating around here that I've used Little Red Barn pistons in. The I don't think you can see it. Let me tip this up. The old Homelight 925 up there, it's directly behind me. See it up there? That's running a Little Red Barn piston, and my Pioneer P60 is running a Little Red Barn piston. I don't have a gob of runtime on those, but I ran them at 925. Between the P60 and the 925, 925's got the most runtime with that piston in it, and I haven't had any trouble yet. I've heard some mixed reviews from other folks here on the YouTube family. Some are, say they've had good results. Others are like, they don't last too long to come apart and crater. But to the eye, they look like pretty decent quality to me. So we're gonna run it in this 372 and see what happens. So I already have the piston in the saw. I don't have the rings on it yet, but I was just checking some things. Without really paying attention, and this stuff happens, I've ground a lot of cylinders, and I still am prone to making mistakes every now and again. Got a little gung-ho and just kind of going by eye. Usually if I'm being methodical and taking my time, I'll transfer Sharpie marks, you know, in there so I don't grind past a certain point. Well, I didn't in this case, and I almost ground that exhaust too wide, but I think we'll be okay. But hey, you know what I always say, it's an experiment. Let's see what happens. So anyway, let's see, where are we at? So now it's time to start slapping this thing together. Normally I would you know, do a dry fit and run my numbers, timing numbers, and squish and all that, but I mean, in this case it is what it is. So I think what I'm going to do is skip a step there, and I'm just going to get some Motosil on this thing. We are doing a base gasket delete. We'll goop them this thing up and get some rings on that piston and slap it together for good. And I'll go ahead and check, you know, squish and timing numbers, just so I know what it is. But it's going to be what it's going to be. So not going to alter. So let's see here. Got to figure out what I did with the Motosil. I'm going to pause you guys and be right back in a momento. Alright, we're back. So here's a ring. This is a double ring piston. Whoa. Alright, we got the bottom ring on. So these Little Red Barn pistons, on the I usually purchase them off eBay. I do believe they have a direct website that you can purchase things from. But anyway, in their description, they always say something to the effect of, you know, non-white box, not made in China or Taiwan, made exclusively for us, but they don't state where they're made. Now, I had exchanged some emails, and I think at one point I actually spoke to an individual on the phone. I'm like, hey, you know, it'd kind of be nice to know exactly where this stuff is manufactured. And if I recall correctly, I think the gentleman told me they were made in India or Indonesia or something like that. But they are made exclusively for Little Red Barn and no one else. He said they deal with well over $1 million in inventory every year with this outfit. So I'm just putting a little oil here on the rings. I like to make sure everything's lubed up real good. Turn these things back around where they belong. Alright. I'm going to get a clean rag because that thing is oil soaked. Alright. Now we'll get some Moto Seal. Messy, messy. I try not to get too crazy with this stuff. It does get everywhere. Now we'll get some on the cylinder. This always feels so weird to me because I got little to no feeling in these fingers. I've lost the tips off these fingers on this hand. So obviously they put them back on, but the feeling never did come back all the way. Alright, so it's recommended to let that stand for a minute or so. Get a little tacky. And it's pretty cold out here in the shop. I don't have the only source of heat I have out here is the wood stove, and heck, I haven't fired that wood stove since last winter. So it's not so cold. I'm not out here for long enough amount of time to really warrant firing it up right now. So we'll throw a little bit of oil inside the cylinder. And my rotary tool is hanging right in my way. Oh well. I've got my screws right here. I bought one of those Farmer Tech kits, nuts and bolts. So as I go here, I've got to try to find and match the correct screw or bolt to the hole. I've already done that. Found my cylinder bolts. So this should be about ready to go. Alright. Now, I never use a ring compressor. I usually can make this work fairly quickly. Sometimes it fights me. time it's going to fight me a little bit. We're getting it. There we go. I observe quite a few other guys that I pay attention to on YouTube. You know, wouldn't be fooling around with the old T-handle Allen. They'd have their power tool and be zip zip. And you might wonder, why doesn't old Too Tall use a power tool? I don't know. I'm just old-fashioned. I like doing it by hand. I like the feel. I fret and worry about stripping stuff out. That's probably one reason why I don't use some kind of a power tool. I know you can set them so that you're not over torquing, but I don't know. I just enjoy doing it the old-fashioned way. Might be a little slower, but all right. I have been known to over torque stuff by hand as well. I try not to do that when I can help it, because it always makes for a bad day. All right, I think we got those good and tight. What is that rattling around? I don't like to hear things rattle. I think that's the oil pickup. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see here. I think we'll go ahead and throw that in while I'm here. And just for the heck of it, I like to throw a little bit of moto seal on this. Might be unnecessary, but I figure it can't hurt. I think that's about a mil or half inch. Yep. All right. There we go. We got a top end on. And let's see here. here to, I'm not at the point that I want to throw carburetor on, but I'm looking at the tolerances that I have there. Pretty tight. I didn't even think about that until now. A lot of the Husqvarnas, it's easier, a lot easier, sometimes necessary to throw the intake boot and cylinder on together. And I think in this case it might have been a good idea. Anyway, I'm almost wondering, well, I still got time, if I should lift that or not and pop that on. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I'll figure something out with that. Anyway, so now would be time to check some numbers, check the squish. Let me find some solder. Grab a little bit of that. Trying to grab a hold of the clutch side of the crankshaft here with these pliers and force that guy around. I'm not having much luck. Usually when I check this, I got the flywheel on. It gives me something to grab hold of. Nope, I don't want to mess those threads up. I'll just wait until I got the flywheel on and then I can check it. So I'm going to pause you guys again and get the degree wheel on here and get it zeroed out. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so I got the degree wheel set up here and zeroed. So let's find out what this thing's running for numbers. checking the exhaust for first ray of light, and that's boom right about there. So what do we got? We got about 98, 90. Let's check it again. Something's off here. I think something's goofed up. Here we are about. It should be. Top dead center, and we run it around 180 degrees. Okay. I am out of whack here. Sometimes this bites me. I'm not the best at this. So you get to watch me fumble my way through. Well, rather than burn up a bunch of time here, I'm going to pause again and try to get this right. Alright, I think I finally got this thing dialed in. So, let's see what we got here. So we got about 101, 102. Let me play with this again. About there. About 101 I'm going to call it. I'm going to write that down. Run it back up to 0 and we'll see what our intake's doing. And about there. So we got, what's that say, 70, 1, 2, 3, 78, 78 degrees after top dead center. So multiply that by 2 and give your duration. So it'd be what, one, let me think here for a minute, 40, 156, 156 duration on the intake timing. Those aren't bad numbers, especially considering that, you know, we didn't alter the intake or exhaust. Not too bad. So we got write that down, intake of 156. All right, so that's that. Now get a flywheel on here and check and see what the squish is doing. So I'll go ahead and pause again so I'm not burning up a bunch of time. Alright, on with the flywheel. I should maybe have cleaned this up some. It's a little dirty, but you know what? It ain't gonna make a big difference. Gotta get my calipers out so let's see what this is once we squish it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Gotta find the right spot here. I'm getting a pretty thick reading here. Saying I'm over 40 thousandths, which just don't make any sense. So I'm gonna get a fresh cut on my solder here. Okay, got a good squishing, man. That looks thick. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. We've got 40 thousandths. 40 thousandths. That's interesting. That's with the base gasket delete. So could have something to do with the piston. Could be cut different. But hey, it is what it is. We definitely don't have to worry about our squish being too tight. Yeah. All right. Well, next, I guess got this coil we could throw on. Now, I don't know if this is a good coil or not. This is just another part out of my bucket of wonders. Now I've got to find something to gap this with. Tell you what works really well for me anyway. What my dad taught me was use an old matchbook cover that I think about 25-30 thousandths is the recommended gap on these. I could be wrong, but that's usually the neighborhood in which I go. I should have a little matchbook laying around somewhere. I usually do, but I can't find it. Anyway, I can get that set later. That's on there. Let's see, we can put the clutch assembly on now, I believe. Here's the clutch drum. Ooh, what is that? There's the old rim sprocket. That thing's pretty toast. I've got a new one here. Let's see, 3/8/7. We'll throw the new one on. There's our bearing. The bearing looks to be in reasonable condition. I'm going to have to put the piston stop back in. I'm sure they make a specific tool for this. They usually just get in there with the channel locks like you see me doing. Sometimes I've been known to take a punch or a chisel and wham that thing. Some people might go, "Oh my God, you did what?" I think I got that good. Just check and make sure that and I'm making contact with the oiler arm. Okay, clutch assembly installed. Alright, so there's quite a few little doodads and things I need to do. Got to rebuild the carburetor. I got to paw through my stuff. I know I have some kits that fit these. Got to find that. See what else. I know I got a slew of mufflers laying around somewhere. I got to locate that, and then of course I'm going to do a muffler mod. Can't go leaving it stock. Just can't have none of that. I got to get some fuel line. You know, I had a bunch of this stuff here, and I've just over the years slowly used it up and realized I'm all out. Gotta go get some. Actually, I tried to get some at the local steel shop here a little while back, and they're all out. But they should have more in by now. So, and I've got to locate a clamp for the intake. I know I've got some of those around here somewhere. It just happens to not be with this pile of parts. So yeah, we're getting closer though, by golly. Can't wait to get this thing completed and hear it run and sink it in some wood. That'll be exciting. See what kind of performance we can get out of this bad boy. So anyway, I think I'm going to call that a wraps for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I was just kind of dinking and mumbling and muddling my way through as usual. But yeah, you know, here in Too Tall's garage, you can expect to get it in the raw. I don't edit. I give you the straight goods. You get to see me in my glory, or not sometimes. You get to see how it all unfolds, and I enjoy sharing it with you all. Anyway, so yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. You all take care, whenever or wherever you might be. Bye.